faster, cheaper. I felt like doing I'll do the faster, cheaper, more productive,
Faster, cheaper, better.
cheaper, better,
More productive.
whatever. So a project that's being put together by Film Nation for the Cannes market is actually, when I read this trade headline, I was thinking back to a piece by 60 Minutes I had seen I think about 2 months ago. And essentially what it told us is that the trucking industry as we know it is going through a major overhaul. And there's been a couple of test situations where it's been manned by nobody. These trucks have been driven by these Tesla type companies, and there's this major race to making entire fleets driverless. And so that harkens back to what's happening right now, a major disruption in an industry where I think a lot of people relate to truckers as these working class heroes. So yeah, Gilroy. Let's first tap into sort of like his filmography and what you think about a project that spans 20 years.
So, Dan Gilroy has never been short on big ideas for his films. I mean, Nightcrawler, even though it was a small film, was unique, really interesting, sort of sharp-edged look at the media.
Mm-hmm.
And then he took a couple swings. He tried to take on the art world with a Velvet Buzzsaw, and to be honest, I'm still trying to understand what he was trying to do with Roman J. Israel Esquire, and both of those films were mixed. After the high of Nightcrawler, they were a little bit of a disappointment. But I mean, he's a great screenwriter. He's a huge talent. So, you can't help but be interested by what he's cooking up here, a film about the future, really, the future where people are not really needed to do the sort of labor that defines the middle class, really.
Mm-hmm.
That really is the foundation of middle class life right now as we know it. So really, really interesting territory, but whether this is, I mean, we don't know. Is this going to be a comedy? Is this another sort of Nightcrawler or Velvet Buzzsaw scenario, or is he going to play it more straight? I mean, I think that will really define how this film works or doesn't work.
So Gilroy's tapping into a couple of mindsets here. He's tapping into, again, the drivers who, they sacrifice their lives in a way to a career that's that's gratifying on some level, but that's misunderstood and not really appreciated by many. And he also taps into the young entrepreneur who wants to sort of play a huge part in an industry that societies are entirely dependent on. From what I understand, is this is going to be developed as a sort of like a mapped out strategy with multitude of with characters. So I'm thinking back to like Altman's films or stuff like Crash or Magnolia that have like this mapped out strategy. And so I think we're going to get a lot of slice of lives and be able to better understand the mindset of the capitalist front, but also meat and potatoes type existences. I think we'll be able to identify with these characters as technologies like I'm attached to my phone and to this laptop that we're using now, and what's the future going to look like 20 years from now? I think very much going to live in a robot world.
I mean, yeah, it's where things are going, but again, it's all about what is the human cost, for convenience and automation. At what point does it become does it become detrimental in a sense to how we can live and survive? But this is it's also an argument that's as old as like the industrial age. So again, a lot of opportunity here, a lot of territory to cover, and it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah, and not to be devil's advocate, but there's a lot of pluses in having a driverless society, and a much safer roadway is what the data initially tells us. So, hi, I'm Eric Lavallée. I'm editor-in-chief and site owner for IONCINEMA.com, and this is
Kevin Jagernauth, contributing writer for the playlist.
And together we are IndieSponge.